guys, it's Jovi and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How are y'all all doing today? What's going on? I hope you're all having a great day. I know I am. Before we begin, please don't forget to I don't know what just happened, y'all. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and follow me on my other social media platforms. Hold on. 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Okay. Continue. Okay. Okay, guys. Sorry. Okay. Check. Give me 1 second. For whatever reason, I just clicked on this and realized, what the heck is today's date? Okay. Hey guys, hope y'all are having a great day. I know I am. I'm cooking some food over there, so I might have to pause in a couple minutes to go check my pot. But besides that, how is everyone doing? Please, what the fuck? Okay, I'll deal with this later. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on my other social media platforms. Again, like I said, I'm Jovi on all platforms. Let me click on this stuff. Let me do what I got to do. I'll fix it later. I just feel a problem, but I'll fix it later. Don't forget to follow me on my IG, okay, where I post the pretty pictures. Go over to my Blue Sky account. Go over to my TikTok. Follow me over there. Y'all can always go to my website, jovibeauty.com, to get... What? Hold on. What the hell? Hold on. Give me 1 second. This is something just happened on my daggone. Hold on. 1 second. Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry. It's just my account. I don't know what the heck, but I am here. I hope everyone is having a great day. Like I said, I'm cooking over there, so I might have to check that in a minute. But I want to give an update on what's happening in the Diddy trial, because it's just, it has been steamrolling and I'm here for it. As we speak, they are speaking to, I forgot his name, but he's a stylist, okay? And apparently this is the guy who got held out, that allegedly was held out the window. Y'all, it has been, like I said, it has been steamrolling. How is everyone doing? Hello. I see y'all in the comments. So where do we start? We're gonna start with let's start with what's not happening. Let's start with what's happening that's not the trial. Y'all know I live in New York City. Y'all know I live right here. Y'all, it's ghetto down there. Y'all, when you watch it, shout out to Naughty. I saw Naughty on Tisa Tell's live yesterday. Shout out to Naughty. it's a lot of shit happening down there. Okay, everybody is fighting to be the number one YouTuber, I guess. I don't know. They done brought their LA weirdness here to New York City, and it's not gonna it's not gonna fly. I've seen people, I saw a clip of somebody earlier today. I believe it's Donat arguing with some lady on the line. Sir, this is, I think he's from LA. I saw Armand last week dressed like a I don't know what. Sir, this is New York City. I don't know what is going on, but I know I don't want to be anywhere near the bitch, okay? I know, but you know, the first thing I thought when I saw Donat arguing with some lady on the line was like, bro, you don't know that lady. That lady could pick up her phone right now and have her, all her kids, her nephews, her whatever, right down there waiting for you in the train station. We is wild here in New York. I don't know what y'all doing. You know, it's one thing to be harassing Tisa Tells because she ain't from here. And, you know, she got security. And I think that's corny anyway, but whatever. But this ain't LA. This ain't LA. Okay, this ain't LA, and I need y'all to chill the fuck out when y'all down there, because y'all embarrassing the native New Yorker YouTube. We don't even want to go down there. It's so fucking embarrassing. They arguing about bullshit that don't matter. You would have thought it was you would have thought it was a trial by the beef sector, the way that the foolishness that I done saw happening, okay? But that's something I wanted to say. Everybody just need to chill out, do their job, report on what's going on, and all that drama, don't do it. New York is a different beast, and I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it because you don't know who gonna call what. It don't matter what that lady look like. It don't matter. None of that shit matter. You don't know who, and we run down on motherfuckers in New York. Don't, for y'all own safety, don't come up there acting a mess, because even the guards gonna let it go down. Okay, don't do it. I'm just saying. Anyway, so we'll go back a week. Let's go back a week since the last time I spoke on this. So Kid Cudi came up. You know, we all saw that. We knew it was gonna get serious. Everybody they saying this trial is gonna last like 6 more weeks. That's at least 2 more weeks of 2 or maybe 3 more weeks of prosecution, and then, you know, the defense. They have a lot of shit coming out, okay? And they've already started, okay? It is rolling, right? You know, they're building this case, okay? They started with Cassie because it's how it started with. The lawsuit is how it started, and it's going up. Y'all, Kid Cudi came up. Kid Cudi was basically like, yeah, that shit happened. Diddy tried to punk him. He just, yeah, and I believe he said something along the lines is like he feel ashamed that he just because he liked Cassie, and he just, you know, let it go because it was just a lot happening, right? So that happened. And then I believe there was somebody who came up and spoke about how DV victims behave and the whys of why they behave, you know, to help the jury, if you've never met anybody or don't know anybody who's been in a situation like that, you know, to help them understand and comprehend what would make Cassie keep going back and dealing with this shit, right? Then yesterday, the Capricorn Clark came up. Lord help him. I don't know what's up with Diddy's lawyer between yesterday and today. Can I say this? I'm going to say this because they right now trying to argue about it's a woman's fingerprint on the Molotov cocktail that was tossed into Kid Cudi's car. Okay, they're not denying the abuse. They're trying to say, oh, it's just DV and whatever. Okay, this is what they're trying to get away with because they don't want to get caught up in conspiracy, racketeering, those sort of charges. But can I say this? And I'm going to say this. I'm going to just say this. I feel like they keep trying to say it was a female's fingerprint on the Molotov cocktail, right? And I think they just I'm gonna get back to Capricorn Clark but I want to touch on what I think it was the detective said today. It was a female fingerprint on a car. Now the cards were somehow destroyed in the LAPD, right? They say Diddy got his, hands and had his hands and everything, paying people off, etc., etc. They want to throw that out, talking about the cards and who fingerprints could be on. And then they started talking about Kid Cudi driving gloves and all this foolishness. But I got to check on this right. But before I do, I want to make my point. I don't know if it is the best thing to not just say Diddy did that himself. Because if the jury is supposed to believe that Diddy got it done, that is conspiracy. That is the RICO. If they want to say, oh yeah, he ran up in there because he was mad because Cudi was messing with his girl, all this weird shit. If you want to say that, and you could say, I don't know how much time you do for a Molotov cocktail, but if you want to say, maybe a year, 2 years, you was upset, you was in your emotions, you threw the thing in the car, But if this trying to sell the fact that it's not him, and it was somebody else, and prove who that somebody else is, especially after the cars were allegedly destroyed, that gives to me reason to convict you for conspiracy. Right? If they would have just said, okay, yeah, he did it, he threw it in there because he was all of his emotions, that's a him thing. That's not a him ordering hits and ordering kidnappings and ordering whatever. And I'm going to get into this because Capricorn said a lot of shit. But I wanted to touch on that. Let me go check on this rice. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right, I'm back. I need about 10 more minutes. Let me check the time. Okay. For me, I know you don't want to get off. You don't want to take no L's. I get that. He don't want to take no L's. But if we're trying to say he was just, because this is I guess what his defense is trying to say. He was, drugged up and he was emotional because his girlfriend was cheating on him. That's why he was abusing her and all this weird shit. This is their excuse for it. Okay, cool. If that's your excuse for it, okay, cool. So then you take the Molotov cocktail being thrown in the car a day after you done broke into his house. You take that. Because if you don't take that and people still, because it's too close to just be a fucking coincidence, then it leads to the acceptance of it being a conspiracy and you sending people to do all this wild, weird shit. Now, let's talk about the wild, weird shit. Capricorn Clark, who was Diddy's assistant, I met her years ago at a marketing, it was a black marketing network I was involved with a couple years before COVID. I haven't been back since COVID. Y'all know I used to work in marketing and whatever. She gave a speech, a talk. They had they used to have talks once a week, twice a week, whatever. And I met her one time, and I remember meeting her because how the fuck can you forget a name like Capricorn Clark? And she had worked her way up. This is, what's her story. She didn't tell us about none of this weird shit from whatever to global brand, whatever the fuck she was, director or some shit like that. I don't remember. But I say that to say she ain't no celebrity. She not trying to be in the front lines. She's trying to work in the back, right? So you can't pull at, oh, because this person didn't get the albums, or oh, because they didn't get the royalties, they whatever, right? So she came out yesterday and we kind of already knew she was going to come out and testify. She basically came out and testified and said Diddy people Diddy came to her house when I guess he somehow found out that Cassie was messing with Cudi, and Cassie was supposed to be at Capricorn's house so she could watch her. That's what it is, right? But she was with her boyfriend, or the person she was trying to date at the time, Cudi. He came there. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning, and she said something like that, knocking on her door with the butt of the gun, bam, bam, bam. This ain't bam, bam, bam on the door. And she said she checked the peephole, and Diddy was pacing back and forth, and she could tell he had a gun. Bam, 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 So she opened the door because she was scared because he's already threatened her. I think she said he hit her before. He's apparently a monster out here, right? And then, he snatched her up, told her, get ready, snatched her. She didn't want to go, but he took her along on his attempted home invasion, whatever. They run up on Cudi. They run to Cudi's house. Diddy find his way in there. While Diddy in there, she tried to call Cassie and Cudi to say, oh, Diddy in your house. He gonna hurt us. So Cudi coming back. Diddy get in the car. Cudi come back. Cudi see, and Cudi apparently drive off because he like, you ain't gonna catch me. He waiting. I'm assuming he waiting for the police to get there. So Diddy go after Cudi. This is some grand theft order. This nigga think he is Nino Brown for real, okay? But so Diddy runs go rolling and go to run down Cudi. The police show up. Cool. Then Cudi make a beeline back, etc., say what happened, tell the police what happened. Then Diddy makes Capricorn call Cassie and say, and again, and basically is like, oh, you have to come or else he won't let me go. Okay. I don't know what the fuck that is, but that sounds crazy. You have to come. So Cassie basically, can you imagine just have to the fact that you got to go to meet this dude and he's going to beat your ass. You already know, but you want to go because he might hurt your homegirl even worse. That shit sounds insane. So Cassie go, Capricorn go off, take off running. She running. And while she running, Diddy is just stomping the shit out of Cassie. Cassie went into early labor yesterday also, side note. Then she tells us another story about how basically they had borrowed some jewelry from Jacob the jeweler, right? And somebody stole the jewelry, which is probably the security, okay? Probably the security. But they tried to put it on Capricorn, probably the same security that had her locked up for days. And they went and snatched her up, took her to an abandoned building, which then turned into the new bad boy office. She didn't know at the time, but that's why they had the keys or whatever. Went up in there. She said as soon as they went up in there, they locked the door from the outside. So she could not get in. She could not get out. She was in that fucking place for 5 fucking days. 5 days, giving her polygraphs, threatening her, telling her they're going to throw her in the East River, like for 5. I don't give a fuck if it's 5 minutes. You ain't holding me hostage for 5 minutes. 5 days is crazy. Then, she goes on and she says a lot of other stuff. She was kind of upset. A lot of people can't deal. And I guess it's the burden of being beautiful. Cassie's burden of being beautiful. Because Cassie is beautiful, people do not take the assault and the things that she went through seriously, right? Because she's pretty. you know, even some of the women around her, and it gives Capricorn, right? Because, you know, she's feel like, you know, I'm doing all of this and what? I don't know. I don't really get it. I don't know if she wanted to exchange places with Cassie or what that situation was. She did mention that Kim was also involved in those hotel stays, and during the time she had to pack the bags with the cameras and the lubes and the baby oil, that it wasn't just Cassie, right? It was also Kim and whatever, which was interesting. So then she got fired, I think, for the jewelry. I don't remember, because she finally complained about what the fuck was going on. And HR works for the company, right? HR does not work for us. Let me go check this rice real quick. Hold on. All right. It got to steam some. It got to steam a little bit. You know, I put a little bit too much water in there, but it'll be fine. Anyway, what was I saying? She got fired. So she got fired because she finally complained. You know, she was working damn near 24 hours a day. We've all watched Diddy throughout the last 30 years and have heard from numerous people who have worked for him, and that's his artists as well as employees, right? And it's always been problematic. So those things aren't necessarily shocking, that he had her working 20 hours a day and, you know, thinking he's going to control her life. This is how men like that are. Okay, boom. Then this is the part that I want to pay attention to. And I want to pay attention to this for the next week or two, because I think they're bringing up things to throws, and I think some other charges might pop off in the next week or two. But this is just my opinion. Can I ask y'all a question? Kevin Lighty was 50 Cent's manager. He hired Capricorn Clark. What did he die of? Why did Kevin Lighty die the day Capricorn Clark was supposed to start working for him? I feel like that was brought up for a reason. What do y'all think? Chris Lighty. Yes. Did I say Kevin? I don't remember what I said. Chris Lighty. Why do I feel like them bringing up Chris Lighty passing and the circumstances is going to connect to something bigger that we're going to find out in a week or two? They might be throwing more charges, you know, the taking people out of here charges. But like they already said, Puff is, you know, he wild. He be running around here with guns. He be running around here thinking he Nino Brown. Like, they're setting it up for the takedown. And they're setting it up like you a gang leader. You a gang leader. You had, you know, they're bringing up the security and the employees that dealt with that was in on this foolishness for a reason. And I'm interested to know what that reason is. Aren't you? I am. So the guy that's on the stand now, well, he might be done now, but he's on the stand now. He's a stylist. He got hired from them, et cetera, et cetera. And he was like, he's the guy. He basically said, like, he's the guy who Puff shook up. He said that the counselors, the prosecutors were like, what did you hear him call Cassie? You know? He was like, bitch, hoe, slut, fuck ass bitch. a bunch of shit. He was like, very few times that he just called her Cassie. Like, he was just angry and deranged and just in front of anybody, in front of just some random dude you done met. Yeah, okay, he a stylist, but you done hired from a Craigslist ad. So like in front of every and anybody, you were wild, crazy, abusing her, talking about you gonna fuck her up, you gonna beat her ass all day long in front of anybody in earshot. Also, who was it? I think it was a woman. I don't remember. It wasn't Cassie. It was someone else. I don't remember. But they were talking about, who was it? Was it Cassie? I don't remember. It's been a lot of people. But they was talking about the names that Diddy used. You know, the Frank White and all this. I think it was it wasn't a woman. It was the stripper guy. It was the stripper guy who couldn't get it up. That dude. They registered under like the hotel, like the names they would use, like they're in the swinger lifestyle or whatever, and they was inviting somebody over or whatever. Why did he allow the girls, Cassie, Kim, I assume, anybody else who was involved, Gina, why were their fake names Janice, like his mama? Did y'all pick up on that? Because I sure as fuck picked up on that. When I first heard it, I was like, she represents your mama. And you want to hurt your mama, but you don't because that's your mama. So you take your mommy issues out on the rest of the women. Everything is still working. Okay. So you take it out on women who you have pretending to be your mom is not kind of gross. It's actively disgusting. It's actively gross and actively disgusting. My pot. I'm gonna check it in a minute though. The Punisher, yes, the Punisher said that. I think that is weird. Don't y'all think that is weird? There is no way that I would be using a name, and the fact that he also, wait, I just had a thought. And the fact, y'all know I be putting shit together just randomly. Hold on. The fact that he be making the girls call them what they call their grandddads. Y'all remember when he said that? Y'all remember when, they said that? Cassie said that, asked him, what do you call your grandpa? Papa or whatever. And you call me that. So you're naming the women after your mom and your grandpa? Y'all get what I'm giving? Y'all get what this is giving? And then if we think about it, because I've also saw ideas and thoughts, and I've been thinking a little bit of this too, that why do twins still be on some twinning shit? Why do twins, and we said this when it happened, when they had their little 16th birthday, wore like lingerie dresses? Why was it so easy to get rid of Kim Porter if that's what happened? Could it be because you had double replacements that look just like their mamas? And if you are calling yourself grandpa and allegedly, apparently, whatever, abusing these women that you call by your mom's name, then some sort of incestual situations may not be as far-fetched as we would like to think. I got to check this pot. Think about that. Hold on, I'll be back. Okay. I'm back. Sorry. Not sorry. Okay, that was good. Still need to dry out though. It was the oxtail. The oxtail pot was going off. Okay. I don't know. Let me, because I've been updating the trial updates all morning. Let me see what other updates have been made. I hope Pixel. Okay. Okay, I think they're on break or some shit. They gotta be. Okay, they. Okay, so they're on lunch, so there's no breaking news. But oh man. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a great day. I should have dropped the commercial break when I did that before, but it is what it is. We're here now. We're here now. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on my other social media platforms. I'm Jovi Beauty. I'm Jovi Beauty on all platforms. Please follow. Please subscribe. Y'all already know the vibe. I'm about to jump into the comments right now. And I'm about to drop the link down below. Okay. I'm about to jump into the comments right now, and I'm about to drop the link down below for anybody who wants to come up and give us their opinion on what is going on and how this is going to be. Honestly, like I said, I feel like there's going to be taken out of here charges added in the next week or two. I feel like they're building up. I feel like they're building up to a lot more accusations, a lot more. They're building the, it's like Legos. They're building the shit, and we about to see at the end what it looked like. Anyway, hope everyone is having a good day. Now let's jump into these comments. We don't even care about the trial. Those of us over there. She said we don't care about the trial. We been knew this nigga as Cassie A Black, so you the real pop. Thank you so much, Steven. Hey Nicole, how are you? How are you? I have not been wanting to necessarily do a day-by-day breakdown of it. It has become a lot. I've been watching Tisa. I feel like she's giving us the information, just it, and not trying to, like, this is not the time. This is not the time to pull the I come from the beef sector drama. This is the time to pull your big boy and big girl pants up and report the fucking news, okay? All of this smoke and all of this yelling and screaming and da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, we would like them to take Black media seriously. And if we outside acting a fucking fool, that's not gonna happen for shits and giggles and for a couple likes and a few damn fucking views. When you probably would get a lot more traction and action if you just reported on what the fuck is happening inside the courtroom instead of creating chaos outside. And like I said, we knew this is New York. We don't really fuck with that. It's not gonna go the way. Don't do for what? We don't do all of that. Like, it's a lot.
That's why I was like, okay, I'm not. As soon as I saw all the people that was, I was like, I ain't going up, because I go up there, I'm gonna end up having my brothers and these niggas run down on hoes, and ain't nobody got time for that. But best believe y'all fucking with them bitches and people in them lines. You don't know what they got coming. And don't think because we buy the courts that it can't get smoky. It sure fucking will. So turn it down and just do your jobs. Chill. Be a reporter and report. That's all I want to really hear about. Every time it makes me just, and it shouldn't be that way. DC said only this ain't the DV. That's what I keep trying to explain to everybody. The DV just started it. Okay, it just started it. About to pop off. But Capricorn Clark brought it into conspiracy and racketeering, etc. Otherwise, it's all distraction. This whole trial timing is a distraction, in my opinion. Get our attention away. Listen. Oh, don't worry about that. You are not late, Sierra. You are right on time. Hey, Rainier, how are you? That's us. Most of us millennials are stuck on that only. She said, that's scary. I thought y'all say 5 hours. 5 days. They had her locked in that building in the middle of fucking Manhattan in a fucking construction zone for 5 fucking days. That mean that nigga for 5 days he stopped construction on the building. They would have taken her out of here. Then you got to think of all the people who just randomly passed away. You really got to start thinking about all the people who just randomly passed the fuck away, because that is what the district attorneys are saying. Diddy is on. He's on that type of time. This is what they're building up to. And I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. Diddy. Diddy. I'm not buying it. Diddy. Y'all was better off telling me he was in a plane crash. A car accident, even though a car accident could be, but he took himself up out of here. Why? Come on now. The day she was supposed to start work, he hired somebody planning to take his life. Sierra said that is extremely weird. Hey, Bree. She said this is why 50 Cent can't stand the diddler. It starts making a lot more sense now. It starts making a lot of sense. When I heard that part, like I said, they keep bringing up little things, and it's like, well, why they ask that? Because they're trying to create the line so you can get what they are putting down. She said Diddy wanted to keep Lighty quiet. Capricorn probably gave Lighty all the tea on Diddy. Probably. Y'all said the Punisher. I really don't want. She said, I don't want my mind to go down that rabbit hole when you said Janet or Janice. 1 and 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 plus 1 equals what? 2. Let me go turn this rice off because it's about that time. I need to turn it off. Okay. So the rice is off. The oxtail is still going, but that's fine. It'll cook until I'm ready to turn that shit off. I was just trying to make sure I had some food in here because sometimes I can get distracted and then it'd be like 4 or 5 o'clock and I'm like, I ain't cooked nothing. Goddamn. Yep. But if Diddler saw her working, this is where the voyeurism comes from. They gotta call him Pop Pop. Yeah, whatever they called their grandfather is what they gotta call him. That's a mental fuck. That's a mental fuck. Well, I made a video about Diddy's dad. Diddy's dad was out here working with Frank Lucas. Y'all know Frank Lucas. Denzel made a movie about him. One of the motherfuckers in the movie was supposed to be Diddy's dad, Marvin Combs or Melvin Combs. I made a video and I literally reposted it last week. So it should be, but I made a video explaining who he was. He might have been pimping too. I don't know. But he was a gangster out here up in Harlem, pushing that stuff, all of Frank Lucas shit. Frank Lucas apparently is Diddy's godfather. That answers a lot of questions, okay? We don't know Diddy's youth, what has been going on. A lot of people said a lot of things was happening in his house. To talk about freak offs and all of this. His mother used to probably have orgies and gangbangs in the house. Can I just say it? Fuck it. I said it. And people are weird. People are fucking weird, especially sometimes in a fucking hood. It can get real fucking weird. Okay. I ain't gonna hold y'all and be like, I know so much about Harlem. Not really. I don't fuck with Harlem like that. I probably fuck with them actually less than the Bronx. So I don't fuck with Harlem like that. But you got to remember the times back then, it was wild crazy. And people were doing a lot of shit. People was coked out, cracked out. People were selling their children for drugs. People were doing a whole bunch of weird fucking shit for some change. Okay? And that's just the reality of that. But it's not lost on me that he had makes the girl call him what they call their granddad or their dad or whatever. And they the name that they use when they're hiring these escorts or whatever is his mom's name. I don't know. Bro, I don't even want to date a dude who name is, and I've been through that, is similar to like my brothers or my dad. That shit would weird me out. Like, what are you talking about? Let's not even play them games. She said, what she said? She said, I don't want to say and on the twins, but I think that's what was happening. I think that's what was happening. Because why are they still dressing like Doublemint twins? Why are they still dressing like Doublemint twins? Why were they so promiscuously dressed at their birthday party? We've seen those girls for years. They weren't dressed like that when their mother was alive. Something and just being something about, especially, y'all know, I have a dad. Something about living primarily with your dad and him not trying to put a fucking sweater on you all the time. Y'all know what the fuck I'm saying. You could get away with your mom going, I want to wear a halter top. Your dad, something about living with your dad full time and and him not trying to fucking wear them make sweats all day long is weird to me. And I know it's weird to you. Something about that. Because if it was the mother, let's just stand on it. If it was the mother who was having her children, the one, you ain't wearing that lingerie dress, okay? But if it was her, y'all would have been saying she was trying to sell, you know, to show them girls off to you know, to rich men's and all of that. But it wasn't the mother. It was the dad, who is Diddy, who is being accused and has settled on cases where he's a sexual deviant. Let's call a spade a spade. It's not freaky. It's not, oh, I like a little, you know, I like a little. That shit is sexual deviancy. It's something about a sexual deviant man with girl children that weirds me out. She said it's a form of control. She said Diddy makes the twins dress alike because it's a form of control. She said somebody else said Janice wears white nail polish. We know. She said, I think he watched the mama with the Johns. Maybe. DC said that's why Quincy is super protective of the girls. Because Quincy in it, but he ain't in it. Kim had enough fucking sense. She should have had all of them away from him, but enough sense back then. And, you know, to have Diddy, to have Quincy all the way in the Carolinas with her people and not being raised by Diddy. Because a sexual deviant is a fucking sexual deviant. It don't matter if it's girl, boy, fucking dog, or pig. If it got a hole and it could scream, that's all a deviant wants and needs. Kept the girls from her mama's side so they don't ask. She said, Sierra said, it seems like the most reasonable people for the girls to stay with is Quincy and Misa. I think he kept the girls from her mom's side so they don't ask questions about him and his ways. Yeah, because you know, your mom's side is always going to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you what it is. They're going to tell you what it is. They're going to tell you about shit that we ain't never going to hear as the public. That Kim took to her grave with her, but her daddy know, and her cousin know, or whoever know. It's all right. The girls are 18. This deviant is going to jail, and in my opinion, allegedly, and the girls will have an opportunity to engage with the rest of their families. I'm not a fan of Armand either, boo. I ain't gonna hold you. Because when I saw Armand last week, I was like, does he know he's in New York and not LA? Why is he dressed like that? I ain't a fan of Armand. But yeah, I get it. Yeah, that did happen. And again, I normally be like, whatever. Do what y'all do in LA. Y'all like to do what y'all do. Y'all live y'all life. It gives you live your lives like you on a reality TV show, even though you're just walking down Mulholland Drive or some shit. I feel you. Do what you do. Don't do that shit here, because you're not gonna have the same fucking outcome. You're not gonna have the same fucking outcome. You ain't gonna see it coming. Motherfuckers in New York ain't running around with blues and reds and bandanas and all that shit. It be the nigga with the suit and a briefcase that's gonna take your head off, and you don't even know it. You said some wild shit to his mama, and he done followed you on the train. Listen to me. Don't do it. You won't even see them following you. This is where we live. Don't do it. Don't do it. Leave people alone. She said I would not have gone. I would have called the cops. We could say what we would have done. She was scared to death. He's already, he is abusive to his employees, all of them, men, women, all of them. You know, it's like, you know, when you know how there'll be girls. Somebody just told me this last week that they traumatized, they've been R-worded, but they don't realize that they were R-worded. They don't realize that's what's happened. That's what happened to them. And that's why they so traumatized. They don't realize. So when they'll be like, oh, I wasn't raped or nothing like that. Not realizing, yeah, you were. Or not allowing yourself to admit that that's what the fuck happened to you. I think it's kind of like that, because they, you know, he was a God among men. And I comprehend, especially, listen, I get it. I worked in the fashion marketing. Okay. It's like kind of like music. It's very niche. It's very white. To get our black asses in. And I've told y'all this before, not at Bad Boy, but it was a time I worked at BET. These are the places you had to get in to be anything, anywhere. To get into Bad Boy, if you wanted to be one of the music, you know, marketing or PR people, to get into Bad Boy was one of the only ways that you could get into the fucking industry. Def Jam was hiring a bunch of white people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I comprehend that it's not a lot of positions for people who look like us. I get that. I 100% get that. And I get how, again, because I worked in it. I knew people who worked, you know, especially back then, you know, you just had to deal with certain shit, or not work. Like, I have to deal with Diddy's. I had to deal with crazy white girls in the fashion industry. Sure did. I had to deal with difficult designers and, you know, people in the, you know, fashion labels. And I'm a bad bitch. But especially back then, this is before BBLs. I wasn't stick thin. I've watched it happen to other white girls that weren't stick thin, and how their career wiped it up. And it's 10 times harder for us. So I can't comprehend why she didn't leave, why a lot of them just stuck it through. I can comprehend that. I'll stand on that. I'll acknowledge that. This is not to go to school and shit for lifestyle things like music and fashion or culture, or, you know, whatever, is a very niche market to begin with. And we are warned from the day we enter the door that is going to be very difficult for us. And that we got to get in where we fit in, especially, you know, you lucky if you find something in one of these white establishments. But to get in and deal and just take it so you can grow, so you can move up the ladder and possibly, you know, be able to go somewhere and have some recognition. So I get it. That's why I get it. I've been places. That's why I've been places that's like, that shit will fucking drive you insane. People deal, I've watched people, shit, I've done crazy shit, because it was asked of us and we were interns or we were assistants or we were, and you got it, you doing it. Do you know what kind of slave work you go through during Fashion Week in New York City? In an office for fucking 20 hours a day. You lucky if you get to go home. I remember people would have their boyfriends, mothers, whatever, come and bring them change of clothes. So, you know, um Janice, I believe so. I believe so, but that's not gonna happen. Oh, we got a donation. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Cha-chang, chang. Change the rules. Change the rules. Thank you so much, Bree, for your donation. It is thoroughly appreciated, girl. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She said, "Hey, is it tomorrow there?" Yes, I think it is. It's either tomorrow or yesterday. I don't know. Thank you so much, Jada. Yes, don't forget to go to the website, jovibeauty.com, and get you one of our dope-ass bonnets, scarves. That pot is moving. Give me a second. Let me go turn that off too. All right, guys, I'm back. I feel like I make the same meal at least once a month. Oxtail, peas and rice, and macaroni salad. I feel like at least once a month I make the exact same meal. Well, no, I think I make the exact same meal numerous times a month, but they're different meals, But yeah. Anyway, please don't forget to like this video, okay? Like it now because you're gonna forget to like it later. Hey, Naughty just donated to the channel as well. I saw you yesterday on Tisa's live. I was like, oh shit, I was literally live watching it. I was like, oh, that shit, that's Naughty. So thank you, Naughty, for your donation as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are thoroughly appreciated. Okay, all right. Thank you for the donation. All right. What's this? Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Yeah, let's get back in it. We're gonna finish up the chat because we're already at an hour. She said, when will they call J Lo and Lil Kim? Girl, I don't know. Maybe in a week. Maybe when shit get real. Maybe when they start. Remember, Mary, a couple like a year ago when this stuff first started, Mary was like, I'm telling. Mary just was like, I'm telling, and I believe Mary is going to talk, but I believe Mary is going to start talking about maybe taking out of here, stuff like that. I believe it's about to go down, but just my opinion. She said, I feel like not only people will look at old interviews and click thinks, but it'll be one story on him that may pull another top celebrity that was involved. I do believe so. We got two callers at one time. Hold on. Let me put the speaker on. All right, we're going to Naughty first. Hey, Naughty, how are you?
Hey, Jovi. Hey, chat. Hey, Beauty School. Yes, I was boots on the ground yesterday, and I will be there tomorrow.
Okay.
So yeah, getting that firsthand. I went in the courtroom when Capricorn was being cross-examined by the defense. And what came across to me, what stuck out to me, how desperate people be in the industry, right? To keep their jobs, that they willing to be abused and work for pennies, and also how she was blacklisted. That was like very, very relevant, and the defense tried to trip her up, especially when it came to the kidnapping with the blicky or whatever, and it just did not stick. At the end of the day, she proved the force and the toxic work environment that the Diddler fostered. I think it's going to be, and this is my opinion, it's going to be very hard for him to get out of this.
Yeah.
They're going to make sure they stick it to him. They've been trying to get him for years. People need to understand. And when Cassie dropped that lawsuit, that kind of gave them the roadmap, and that's why they were able to like subpoena a lot of people,
Hmm.
but it just goes to show the patriarchy, how it prevails in the industry.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a strong sense of self-worth and a backbone, that's what those men prey upon. You know what I mean? They look for weakness, and not only women, but in men as
The men
well.
too.
you,
Yeah.
you, you know nobody's safe. But in the 90s and things like that, see, they didn't have social media. All we heard were whispers and rumors and what we heard on the
And Wendy
radio.
Williams, and then they sent it to
Right.
Philly.
Right, but never any substantial evidence to say like this happened. And so then when social media hit, stuff started hitting the fan. And Diddy is such an attention whore, you know what I'm saying? That he can't stay out of the camera. His narcissism and his ego, he started to tell on himself ultimately.
Yeah.
Nobody didn't even have to say anything. There's plenty of video of him out there saying, "Oh, I'm gonna show you how to break the law and get away with it." Out his mouth.
Hmm.
Out his mouth. I get what I want. Out his mouth. So he started to tell on himself. Because he just loves the attention so bad. And people just need to remember the root of all of his ego and his narcissism is, number one, his biggest addiction is power.
Yeah.
And number two, he really ain't that talented, okay? That's why he was so jealous of Tupac, Biggie, even Nipsey Hussle. And then Chris Lighty's name came up, okay? There's some things that's suspicious. Wink, wink. The root of him and Diddy beef.
Hmm.
Wink, wink. 50 Cent beef. Wink, wink. There's a lot of coincidence that happened around that man, and the list is long. From Heavy D to Andre Harrell.
I was gonna say Heavy D when I spoke earlier, but I was like, I ain't gonna say that. But yeah, from
It's
Heavy D,
suspicious.
Diddy wouldn't have been Diddy if Heavy D would have lived.
Come on now. That's the people that fostered his career. People need to remember he was fired from Uptown Records after that college stampede.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to endorse him or mess with him until Clive Davis. And
Hmm.
what did he have to do in return for all that money to start up Bad Boy?
Hmm.
Just like what did Cheek Mills have to do to get off that parole? You see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? That industry is one hand wash another. You got, once you commit and get on contracts with people in the industry, you have to keep on sacrificing. It is never ending. And
Yeah.
this is the type of pressure that Capricorn Clark, his ex assistants, this is the type of pressure they all worked under. And if you did not give Diddy his way, he would blacklist you because he was a major
Done.
gatekeeper.
Yeah, you were done, and it was nowhere. Like I said, there was nowhere else you can go. It's not like you could have went to the white. No, no, it was nowhere else you can go.
Capricorn, because they asked her, they said, well, after you got fired, did you try to pursue other career opportunities? She said, yeah, with Interscope Records. And I thought I finally had got my break. And I get in the office with Jimmy Iovine, and the whole meeting was telling me to leave Diddy alone. That's how far his power goes. That's how far his reach goes. And people are afraid of him
Yeah.
because they know about the rumors. They know about the different circumstances surrounding situations. He tried to get at, well, allegedly, Tupac, not once, but twice.
Mm.
Once at Quad Studios, with ignited the East
Yeah.
Coast West Coast beef, right?
Mhm.
And then once he was on the West Coast, I lived through this era. That's why I'm here for the trial. I watched him get away with
A lot.
so much,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
time to pay the piper.
It is.
It's time. It's time. So say what you want. Yeah, Cassie, if I was getting kicked on, stopped on, that would have made me a bitter itch too.
Yeah.
That would have made me angry too. You know, I would have felt a little entitlement because y'all don't know what I have to
Y'all don't
go
know what I
through
go through. You the fuck
to get
every
on these red
day.
carpets.
Yeah.
And just like Diddy made Cassie, you know how they had the pill mills? That's what Cassie was in the equivalent of the ST ring.
Mm.
She was just dispensable. All those red carpet events, that was Diddy advertising to his friends.
Mm.
So I understand the fear she was under. And yes, she was probably a willing participant in a lot of things, as was Capricorn and all these other people surrounding him. The security, they were all willing participants in the shenanigans. And if you ask me, Capricorn Clark was the only one that had enough balls to actually do something about it. She contacted Cassie's mom when he stomped her out, was like, look, I can't call the police, but you
Yes,
could.
you
Your
can.
daughter is
Yeah.
in danger. She's the only one that had enough courage to try to speak up. She's the only one that tried to warn Kid Cudi in advance. But all the other security sat around and just watched and was complicit. Why? Because they had to provide for their families, I guess. That was more important. So,
Yeah.
and that's all I have. I'm boots on the ground tomorrow. Because out, look, the real tea is outside the courtroom. They out
I
there
want no
lit.
parts of that. Get up. That shit look like a lot, boy.
That I'm telling you, the tea is outside the courtroom. People riding by like Diddy's a rapist. Y'all know it. Everybody know it in New
I said,
York.
that's why I said everybody we know it. That's why I said y'all the people out there, just tell them to turn it down. Stop fucking with people because it gets saucy up here in New York.
Look,
Real
I stay
saucy, real
away. I
fast.
know who the troublemakers are, and I'm out there for one reason
Stay
and
away.
one reason only, to gather the information so I could bring it back to my audience. It was a real pleasure meeting Tisa Tells. Even Gene Dill was really, really nice, and he ain't out there to play. And he's very controversial, but at the end of the day, what was he really to do in the grand scheme of things? But he was very respectful. He's very respectful towards me. And it's a lot of great content creators out there, but I'll be out there tomorrow because it was fun. I had me a blast, okay?
It looked fun, but it looked like a problem as well.
I just stay away from them troublemakers, Jovi, you heard?
I heard. All right, girl.
All
All
right,
right,
take care, y'all.
Jersey.
Bye.
Oh, okay. We have one more call. Well, we have two more. Hey, Steven.
What's up, Jordan B? I mean, this P Diddy trial is getting on my nerves though. This been
Mm.
going on 3 weeks. I mean, dude, everybody seen when P Diddy when he was jumping up on Cassidy, kicking her and kicking her in the face, and she was trying to get away from P Diddy
Away
in
from
the elevator. And
Mhm.
then because and they seen that when P Diddy had that white towel on him. Dude, P Diddy is a joke. That's all he is, though. He's guilty, written all over his face, and he either much need to be locked up in jail because you either much had Cassidy end up saying that she the much loved it P Diddy and all that. Do you and him y'all used to either much do drugs together. You and him either much used to go out on dates with each other. And then when Cassidy used to cook P Diddy breakfast, and then he throws a plate at her, and then in Cassidy either much though should have never been messing with P. Diddy in the first place because P. Diddy is not loyal to nobody but himself because he done messed over people music, messed over Mary J. Blige, Faith Evans, and Khalees. He messed over their music. And then and he ain't never either much been a producer, because when P Diddy used to be on stage, he used to just be just talking with the microphone in his hand and doing those
back up, dance.
with his legs up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dancing. And dude, P Diddy though wasn't shit. That's why 50 Cent never want to fuck with P Diddy, because P Diddy said the reason why 50 Cent said he didn't either much go out or go to shopping with P Diddy, because he said P Diddy is a flunky. He said that in a breakfast interview with Charlamagne, the Godfather, and DJ Envy.
But Stephen, did you miss the part we spoke about it earlier? Maybe you missed it. That it may be that as well, but it might have to do with the fact that Diddy might have 50 Cent's manager and homeboy, Chris Lighty. That's what we hear is what the real issue is.
Yeah, because he much they was talking about Kid Cudi.
No, not Kid Cudi. Not Kid Cudi. Chris Lighty, who was 50 Cent's manager, who hired Cassie, just like Nadi said, not hired Cassie, hired that Capricorn girl. Nobody else would hire her, because P. Diddy said, oh, you can't hire her. This man hired her, 50 Cent's manager, and the day before she was supposed to start work, he unalived himself. That's why people are saying that's the real issue that 50 Cent got with Diddy, is because he took out his manager.
I mean, he's jealous. I mean, this trial though is ridiculous. I mean, this has been going on 2 weeks now. This trial, because with either much with Kid Cudi. I mean, not Kid Cudi. I mean Capricorn. And so she came out and testified against him on the stand. And then either much the thing, look, P. Diddy though need to be locked up, because all this stuff, what he did, he think he can get out or his way out of this. He is don't like women, don't have no respect for nobody but himself. And he don't have morals, values, or principles. And Diddy either much thought that because he done took a plane and either much went on the island, thought he was gonna wait till it things settled down, and then when he popped up in New York City on a jet, and they ended up taking him to jail. He thought he was gonna go all the way.
All right, thank you, Stephen. We have one more caller. Thank you. Hey, Jada.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Girl, enjoying myself. Enjoying myself, doing my little traveling or whatever. But before I even get started, first, did you make sure you like this video? Subscribe if you like the vibe. Share if you care. Don't forget that Jovi has a .com, okay? JoviBeauty.com. She has scarves, shirts, hoodies, you name it, she got it. Okay, make sure you check it out when you get done with the video. And I just wanted to say a couple of different things. One more recently, because I seen it in the chat where we were talking about men, and you mentioned it too. That's what made them say it in the chat. But you mentioned about you guess security, had a family, needed the money, blah blah blah, right? I think we always fail to remember that bad people who like to see things happen to good people or other people have always existed.
Yeah.
So a lot of these people, it wasn't because they just really needed the money. I mean, there were so many other jobs. There were other, especially back in the beginnings time, there were so many other people they could have went to work for, right? But they were fine. That's why a lot of times when you hear the feedback from different testimonies, whether it's about Diddy's case or R. Kelly's case, whoever's case, The people will be like, security did nothing. Security just stood there. Security, helped them cover it up, strolled me out, held me out, all of these different things. Because some of them like that. And they wish they could be the guy with the money that can control a lot of these different things. Majority of the time, that's what it is. They don't like women like that. For them, this is enjoyable.
Yeah.
That's why they like their job.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a strain on them. They like their job.
Yeah.
They like it. And if you don't believe me, just think about how many people know that this different stuff happened after seeing the video of Cassie. And they still riding for Diddy.
Yeah, right.
Still. You even had people laughing about how she got beat. Lied on why she got beat. Talking about stealing his stuff. Some people just like that sort of action.
Yeah, they want to see women punished.
Yeah.
That ain't new. That should be
new.
That ain't new. You're right.
This has been around. And not only that, but when you think about I gotta make sure I say these words right because I gotta remember I'm on YouTube. I'll come back to it when I can think of a different word to use. But okay, so another thing I wanted to mention was y'all were talking about, we got to do better as as a unit, as ladies. And I love that Capricorn is one of the women who, in her best way that she knew how to still also try and preserve herself and her family.
Yeah.
Try to make sure that Cassie got help in some sort of way from somebody she could trust, which would be her mother, right? How many people would reach out to you? Sometimes your best friend won't even reach out to your mama.
You're right.
And she know you, or your parents.
But you know you're going through shit and nobody's saying nothing. You're right about that.
Nothing. It's like, come on, y'all. We got to surround ourselves with people. And I was sitting up here thinking while I was listening to different stuff, my daughter, she has had some good dating experiences, but some of these last couple of ones lately, I have not particularly liked. And she, I raised her, right? I've raised her. So she gets up out of them sort of things quick. She swerve them real quick before they can even get in her head and try to get a relationship and get her barrel down. This one guy, he was a bit older. My daughter's 18.
Mm-hmm.
He was 23. When she first told me about him, I'm thinking like, is he in college? Oh, you met him on the internet. Oh, I don't like that. I might have let you get away with it if he was in college. I still don't feel comfortable with that, but at least it would have to be because y'all experience each other every day. You can kind of catch a little something.
Yeah.
But this was an internet dude. And when I say he act like he didn't understand she was in class or that she was in her club meetings, what's taking you so long to hit me back? Why you taking so what you in class? You can't text me back? You can't text me while you got your hand in your purse? She was like, Mom, when he first started doing that, I swerved him. And then he came back apologizing. So I thought maybe he just really liked me or something. But then he started doing it all over again. And I thought about what you said. This would be the one that would knock me between the washer and the dryer.
That'd be the one that make her that'll trap her with a baby before she even graduates.
Absolutely.
That'd be the one.
I said, why he ain't got nothing better to do? Right. I'm like, why does he have nothing better to do as a 23-year-old supposed man? Right? He owned you and you 18 years old in college, your first freshman year. He must never went to college because, for one, he don't even understand what that dynamic could look like as a freshman going into college.
Yeah.
He don't understand you in class and you trying to focus. He keep asking you every time you don't text back quick. I'm so happy you understood and listening to your mommy, because it's some grown women that won't listen to this sort of advice.
Comprehend that. Yep. There are grown ass women who don't get that part.
Right. Like, do we not see enough casting them to recognize it? Like, people are like, can't believe DG did that to her. I can.
Yeah.
I can't. It first of all, it just just naturally, when I recognized that that was not his real voice and his voice was something different, I was like, you mean to tell me so majority of the time, because you know he's always on live, he's always talking to people, always trying to be out there doing something. You mean to tell me he lives like this knowing that's not his real voice? Y'all don't think that's mental? That's a whole nother level of mental.
That's crazy. Remember when I was out here a couple years ago trying to have the Mariah Carey voice? I couldn't do it. That shit lasted a week. I should lasted like a week because that you're right. That's crazy.
That's
like
mental.
I can't. That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Walking
Trying to
around
get
here,
to 2 hours for the live.
girl, while trying to do.
No,
Right. That's crazy. I couldn't keep
for
up.
years he's been that way. And then after he came out, you would have thought that would have been a release. And because you know, some people have different voices from their singing voice and sometimes even their rapping voice, right? Their musical voice is different. But you mean you still couldn't change that? I mean, Prince did it. So I'm like, there is something mental about him. When he was talking about that girl the way that he do, while they were together? Come on. Now, we have got to notice these very clear signs.
Yeah.
And I don't feel bad for, I don't know what this new movement is, to feel bad for Black men who have money. Feeling bad for Black men who have money that are abusing other people. And then be like, well, they enjoyed the money. I don't think Cassie really enjoyed the money. Okay? Because now we know her parents had money. So I don't think she really enjoyed the money. And so I'm so happy to hear this case come out in the way that it is, where we can now point and say, remember y'all kept saying these women stay because they like the money? They scared because they get knocked around like this even when they leave.
Mm-hmm.
He more than one time, and one time is good enough, but more than one time, Puffy went to where she was and snatched her out of places.
Yep. Yep.
More than already left him.
Why are we talking about? Oh, he came to snatch her, bro. If I like something, you ain't gotta come and get me.
Right?
You ain't gotta come get me. I'm here. I'm showing up. Like he numerous times, just like you just gave the DDG example. They broke up. Why are you breaking into her house to see if she's sleeping and who she's sleeping with?
Yes. Yes.
Like, because they think they own us, and Puffy dead ass think he owned Cassie up until that award show when he was still shouting her out while Young Miami holding a fucking sign while she was married.
I told y'all that had to be harassment. It had to be harassment, and I could see why she was ready to just put it all out there. Because why is you bothering Cassie? Cassie don't talk about you, don't want you. She don't want you, she don't want you, she don't want you no more. You got a whole nother chick, and like you said, out there holding a sign. And y'all can't convince me that Young Miami, aka Carisha, please, y'all cannot convince me that that girl was not in on what was going on. I know she said it was too early, so I didn't get to witness none of that if any of that was going on. Yes, you did. We heard what you said to that other baby mama he had. You was real forceful and direct with them words about he gonna make you eat my... Who says that?
Who says that? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who says that?
Yeah.
You clearly been fine with what was going on. Thank goodness that what's that girl name with that baby with that other guy? They all crazy. She named her baby after her. I forgot the girl name.
I don't know who you're talking about.
She named her little boy after her.
Oh, Krishan.
Krishan, I'm so happy Krishan got away. When she said they wasn't my speed, and people like, oh, but he was showing her love and all that. She must have saw something.
Yeah.
Because she got up out of there. She would have been next. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to, I mean, she still was in a bad situation even once she left from that. But I'm just saying, I'm happy she got away from that. Because they just think, yeah, the Gina girl, that's the one that Young Miami was saying, I'll make you eat, you know, Diddy gonna make you eat my.
Yep.
Keep talking. I'm gonna make sure Diddy make you eat my. Like, who says that?
A fucking idiot. She thought she was gonna be. She was
Right. Some people, and again,
She
Young
thought it was gonna be
Miami
her.
slow enough. She talking about she didn't face some form of abuse. She had mental abuse going on that she didn't even realize because she thought she was the top one.
Mm-hmm.
That difference of shouting out a chick, shouting out Cassie and them, calling loves, and oh wait, I let me make sure I don't forget this person too. And Young Miami is standing there with a whole sign. He dissing you on your show. He had a baby on you. You know what I'm saying? Just yeah, because you thought you was the bottom chick.
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe she probably was getting a taste of that too. She just thought she was the better one. Just kind of like how Cassie thought she was the bottom chick.
Mm-hmm. And ain't none of you are. You were just a means to an end.
Yes. And I am so happy all of this is coming out so that we can now have a full example. I mean, this is like a whole case study for so much. Dudes who let things go by. Shout out to the husband. I know people is talking junk about the husband. I don't care. They only talking about him because he white.
Yeah.
If he was black, folks would have thought he was a great man. But because he is white, they're like, oh, he's a simp. Oh, he's a punk. Oh, he should leave her. Shout out to that man for being as strong as he is. I don't care what color he would have been.
I agree.
Because he stood 10 toes down where plenty of people did not. We ain't even talking about dudes she dating. All the people who were around to see her get stumped often.
Stomped out. Celebrities, everybody just chilling. We just chilling. And in the corner, this nigga stomping her ass out.
Right. Y'all, please, you raising your daughters and stuff, it's never too young to mature their brain about situations like this.
Yeah.
And I say that because for those who do not know, domestic violence amongst, or excuse me, DV. Can you even say those words on here? I'm sorry. DV amongst young people between the age of 13 and 18 is high.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
These
Y'all pay
young boys are
attention.
out here.
You be seeing them when I walk to McDonald's, you know, the kids be in there. I be like, why is he grabbing on her? I be just random, you know, you see kids walking in the street. It's like, is this life? Is this what we're doing?
Yes. Yes. Please get in their minds and make it stick. Make it stick about so many different things. Because truth be told, a lot of this pregnancy stuff that's going on wouldn't be going on if we taught our daughters about how dudes are so slick to try and get into your house in every way possible.
Yep.
Try and get you to a hotel in every way possible. This young boy told my daughter, he's 18. They went to They went to elementary school and middle school. He went to middle school online, elementary school in person.
Mm-hmm.
She ran into him at 5 and below. He said something to her like, oh my God, I just miss you. You know, now that it's spring, can we hang? And she was thinking like, oh, well, you know, I really don't know you that much. I ran into you, but I really don't know you that much. What we were as kids is not the same as, you know, what we could be now. So she said, can we talk and just really get to know each other? And he was saying slick stuff like this, y'all. Man, I miss your body. Man, we should go and get a hotel. I'm going to get us a hotel when you come back home from spring, you know, because you're in college. Come back home from spring and we can watch some movies and color because he knows she likes art. She told him, we can't do that somewhere else? Why do we need a hotel room for that?
Yeah, because they like leeches is right here.
Yeah, he thought he had one. The other guy, he was trying to talk to her. He said he got to pick up his glasses around where her school is because their schools are a couple of miles away from each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he like, I got to come over to the pharmacy over there, pick up glasses or whatever. And he kept prolonging the time and prolonging the time. He asked her at 11 o'clock a.m. It becomes 6 o'clock. And she's like, were you still coming to pick up your glasses? And he's like, yeah. He was like, do you have a roommate? And I taught my daughter, don't tell people you don't have a roommate. Don't tell them you don't have a roommate. So she told him, no, I got a roommate. Excuse me. She was like, yeah, I got a roommate. And he was like, oh, okay. Because, it might be late when I get there. It might be like 7, 8 o'clock when I finally get there to get my glasses. So I probably won't see you for a minute because I got to go and see my boy because, he go to your school too. So it might be like, like I said, like maybe 9 o'clock when I come by. And she was like, how you expect to get in my building? You're not a student. He was like, you're not going to let me in? And she was like, for what? Where we going to be at? It's going to be dark. I'm not walking around with you around campus. I'm not letting you up in my dorm building and in my room and stuff. You have to see me at respectable hours. And he told her, I ain't never heard a girl say that before.
Because he thought he was going to get her.
He thought he was and don't get me wrong, the dudes have seemed like Prince Charming. And I have talked to my daughter about that Prince Charming phase. Yeah, they all like Prince Charming. But they all trying to make sure they can get you alone in the middle of the night so they can try and get you. Maybe not to argue. They hoping that you're going to give in. Which is still kind of in a way. But they're hoping that you either want to or that you're going to give in. Mm-hmm. But they have to maximize their chances by getting there late. You know what I'm saying? So you can be tired and y'all can be chilling off the bed, doing No.
I agree. All right, Jada, I appreciate you coming up, girl. We miss you.
I know, right? I miss y'all, okay? I miss y'all. I be trying to catch the replays and I be watching it from TV. I'm moving around. I'm doing stuff. I'm working with different, I'm black like this. So, y'all can't even see me because I'm not on camera. Okay, so I had my fist up. So I'm truly black. And so I get involved with certain different things, trying to help different situations. So I've been real busy this fall and winter, but I am happy to be catching a live where I can chat with y'all, talk with y'all. It has been an exciting little hour and a half, but make sure you guys like this video. If you haven't, go ahead and like it, share if you care, subscribe if you like the vibe. Make sure you check out it. I'm pretty sure this scarf is somewhere on jovibeauty.com. Okay. Because this one is a new one for me to see. So
this is a new one. Yes.
Make sure y'all get that, okay? Make sure you get it because I love it. Make sure you get you a hoodie. Okay, join the beauty school. And I'm out. I'm trying to make sure I don't forget anything. Oh, and if you would like to give your girl a monetary hand clap, make sure that you send her a super chat, a cash app if you want her to get all her coins. She does take Zelle. It's all right there at the bottom of the screen, okay? And if you're watching this video afterwards, you can send her what's that thing called, Jovi?
A super thanks?
A super thanks.
Yeah.
You can still give her money after the live is over because if you have retained and maintained anything that she has said today, child, go ahead and hit her up with a little something. And there is a book this summer that y'all need to go ahead and get it now before the summer hit. It is called Jovi.
How to Know When a Man is Using You.
Okay. It is an ebook that you can get right now. Make sure your friend get it too. Don't download it and then share it with your friend. Share the link with your friend. Okay. And let your friend get it for herself. That's an investment so she can be serious about how not to get played this summer
Yes.
because I'm tired of looking at y'all being pregnant and your whole summer is shut down, your whole winter is shut down. For all of that over dudes that do not care. Y'all over here with hobosexuals and everything. You being knocked between the washer and the dryer. We love y'all. Get the book so y'all don't have to deal with this.
Damn right.
And I'm out. Bye. JoviBeauty.com in case I didn't mention it. JoviBeauty, JoviBeauty.com. Bye.
All right, y'all. Hold on. All right, y'all. Appreciate Jada, appreciate Nadi, Steven, and everybody who always comes up. We really appreciate you. All the people who donate to the channel, really appreciate you. Like Jada said, y'all can always go to my website to support as well. You know, get one of our, I don't have my mug around me. You could get one of our dope ass scarves. I have a lot of different designs. Go grab one of them now. We have bonnets, scarves, sweaters. I have a lot of cute merch. So go to jovibeauty.com to get that now or later. And like Jada said, you can always donate to the channel while we're live. When we're not live, it is always appreciated. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I know I got the book is up. I should re-release it, but the book is on my website. I have been thinking of updating it and working on a new one, but it's on my website. As a matter of fact, it's on sale. So go to my website, download my ebook. It's really dope. And yeah, as always, I hope you live your life like it's golden, because there's no other way to live it.